Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBA champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so first of all, apologies. This is a video that I should have done 4 or 5 days ago when Joe Joyce first said that he'd like to fight the winner of Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. But as you can tell by my lack of videos recently, I've had a lot of other things going on that's far more financially beneficial than YouTube, unfortunately, as of right now. But anyway, Joe Joyce said that he would like to fight the winner of Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Of course, he's defeated both of those fellas by a stoppage. Now, he says a lot more than that. He says that, congratulations to Joseph Parker with his win over Deontay Wilder. He's very happy for Joseph Parker. And of course, with Daniel Dubois as well, he's very happy for Daniel Dubois to get his win over Big Baby Jarrell Miller, and how Daniel Dubois showed a lot more heart than what people have been giving him credit for ever since he essentially quit against Joe Joyce. Fair dues on that one. It was a cracked orbital bone. And of course, for what a lot of people say is he took another knee against Alexander Usyk from a jab. Okay, so he said a lot more than that article in the description box. Now, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois, however which way around you have it. Yeah, I would certainly watch that fight. Of course I would, and I think a lot of you would too, as to who would win that fight. If that fight gets made, of course I'll give you my predictions, but of course you drop me yours in the comment section below if you would like to see that fight and who you think would win. But is it likely? Well, it's possible. It is possible. They were both on that Saudi card. The Saudis would have been impressed. Why not match them together? Could they put it on the Fury-Usyk undercard? Potentially, but I think Parker's taken a little bit of time out. And potentially, maybe you could have that fight on the March undercard for Anthony Joshua versus whomever it may be. Maybe Filip Herkovich, whatever. Now, while it's possible, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker, I don't think it's going to happen. What I think will happen, and I've said it for a little while now, I think ever since Daniel Dubois lost to Usyk, Queensberry Frank Warren have been trying to get Daniel Dubois back into the WBA mix. So I think what will happen is Daniel Dubois will fight Manuel Charr for Charr's WBA regular World Heavyweight Championship. And I said this weeks ago. And the reason why I say that is because it's easy food for Daniel Dubois, firstly. He can get his old title back. And then he's straight back in the mix. When the WBA comes back round again for a world title mandatory shot, he's there. If he can hold on to that position, of course. So I fully expect that one. Daniel Dubois is a Queensberry Frank Warren fighter. And so we're hearing, so is Manuel Charr now. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Right? With Joseph Parker, I expect him to fight Zhang. That's the fight I think will happen. Zhang, again, is a Queensberry fighter. Joseph Parker, again, he's very close with Tyson Fury, and he would have been impressed, or he would have impressed, say, Frank Warren and the Saudis and whatever else. So why not have Joseph Parker versus Zhang? Because again, you have to look at it from a manager's, promoter's kind of position. Is Daniel Dubois versus Parker it's a fight that there's no gain out of it. But Daniel Dubois versus Manuel Charr, there's a WBA belt. With Parker versus Zhang, well, there's a WBO interim title and mandatory position. Zhang stopped Joe Joyce twice. Joe Joyce stopped Joseph Parker. So could it just be a triangle theory that automatically Zhang defeats Joseph Parker? Is Joseph Parker finally finding his feet with Andy Lee? We'll have to wait and see, but that's the fight I think will happen. Joseph Parker versus Zhang. Could it be on March? Yeah, very possibly on the Joshua undercard. As for Joe Joyce, I would like to see him take on Deontay Wilder, but I don't know if he would fight Deontay Wilder right now. I don't know if Deontay Wilder will fight Joe Joyce right now. But it will get both of them back up the rankings if they did. So it's a fight that makes a lot of sense. I do expect Joe Joyce to have a quick tune-out fight and then maybe try and get back in the mix. But time's not on his side right now. So if I'm Joe Joyce, I'm fighting Martin Bakole. Reason being, Martin Bakole has good rankings and it's a winnable fight for Joe Joyce. But likewise, for Martin Bakole, that's a winnable fight. Martin Bakole's been crying out for a big name for quite some time. Joe Joyce is there and he's available. It makes a lot of sense for both of them. If Martin Bakole wins, he gets a lot of credit, solidifies his positions in the rankings, and then a lot of fighters will be looking at him going, okay, let's look at Martin Bakole then. big paydays they're on after. Don't get me wrong, a Joyce versus Bacoli in Saudi before Riyadh season closes at the end of March, that would be a good one, right? Joe Joyce, if he defeats Mark Bacoli, gets him right back in the mix. People who say he's washed and he's overrated and his chin's not there anymore and all that kind of good stuff ever since he lost to Zhang, well, that doesn't mean he's over. Him defeating Mark Bacoli gets his name back on everybody's lips again. So I would fully expect Joe Joyce versus Martin Bacoli. Anyway, Dan Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Yeah, I'll certainly watch that. But as I said, there's no gain for either of them outside a financials, especially if it was to happen before Riyadh season closes at the end of March. But other than that, if you're the managers, the promoters, the trainers, and even the fighters, they'll be looking at the bigger picture. So I fully expect Dan Dubois versus Manuel Cha. And I expect Joseph Parker versus a Zhang. And I think Joe Joyce will end up fighting Martin Bacoli. Hey, who knows? You drop me your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.